Hello everyone, Christina LaCrafty here to share with you one of my recent used vintage books haul. And the majority of this haul video is going to be from this book sale that I go to almost yearly for the last few years. It's put on by the Greenville County Literacy Association. It's called the Really Good, Really Big, Really Cheap Book Sale. So they put this on once a year. It's a really big event, and they have all kinds of used books, not just vintage. Like they have fiction, nonfiction, cookbooks. I mean, you name it, they got it. And they do have like a lot of volunteers and everything. And every year you go, you don't know what you're going to find. And this year, I actually did not go last year on purpose because I have accumulated a little too many vintage books for either junk journaling or just collecting because I'm obsessed with books. Um, and vintage books in particular. And so last year I told myself, don't go because every time you go, you find something. So this year I actually went because my husband went with me this time and we were trying to find some gifts for either holidays or for his younger brother. Sometimes they'll have like, games and movies and things like that. So we went just to kind of poke around and see if there was something that caught our eye. And of course I did not leave without getting vintage books, just books, because of course, why not? So I'll start off with the stuff that my husband picked out. He did pick out some movies. I don't remember how much these were, but each dot is like a different price. I think the white tags are like $2. The blue tags, the little blue circles up here, where's that, like down here, these are $1. Red, I think, is probably like $3 or $4. So I don't think there was a book that was over $5 from the colored section, except unless it was in like the separate area where they're really really old books or large book sets that belong together, and then those had some itemized prices and generally a lot pricier. I did pick out two from that pile because girl couldn't resist. So anyway, so this is a movie that my husband picked up. And yeah, I never really noticed that they had DVDs in movies before, probably because I wasn't looking for that. But yeah, so he found this, he was really happy, and he got a really good deal. And then he bought this one because another apocalypse movie won't hurt. And I'm not going to open that one, but yeah, I think, yeah, that's a movie. Original music, Time Life, Apocalypse. So yeah, there's like DVDs in here. Very cool. And then he got this for my mom. I don't know what this is, whether it's like an old soap opera or an old movie, but he got this for her. I don't know what made him want to get that for her, but there was something about this movie that he thought she would probably like. So there we go. So if she's watching this, I'll probably spoil the surprise. But anyway. Okay. Then we're going to move on to some like not so vintage. These were a set, 15 books, and I think the green price was maybe like $3. I think that's what that was. I think it was $3. And you get 15 books in here. And these are not vintage, but they are all Disney, I believe. So I thought that was a really good deal. So there's just really, really cute books here. So they're not like old vintage pages, but they were Disney. So sometimes when I see some cool Disney stuff, I'll collect it for, whenever the Disney occasion arises. And I thought, if I ever make like little mini albums for people or some mini albums, I thought this would be like, let's say I did like an Ariel book or a Disney princess book, then I could, in a mini album, I could have pocket pages and then stick one of these little books in the pocket. So it's like a little surprise for someone. So not only do they get like a mini album, but then they also get gifts inside their mini albums. I thought that was a really cool idea. Or the same for like a Disney junk journal or a Disney memory book. You can actually stick these inside of whatever your project is as like a gift. So I thought I had a couple ideas while I was there, and I thought, you know what, these would come in handy. So that's why I got these. So I thought that was a really good find. And you know, if one day I just want to like destash some stuff, I'm sure if I listed this on eBay or somewhere online, I'm sure all of my Disney people would come out and be like, yeah, I'll buy that. And then I can destash it. But for now, I'm keeping it for the ideas that I thought. So we'll get into some of my vintage books here. Oh no, we'll finish all the like the kiddish kind of books here. So these orange ones were 2 for $1, so they were 50 cents each. So I thought this really cute. This one would be really cute for like a Christmas book, or tear the book, since it is a hardcover, like tear the book apart and maybe make a mini like a mini book out of this, and then use these pages on the inside as well, like as part of the mini album, or like the mini junk journal, or just cut out the pages and put these in. You never know. Or just keep it just because, and when I die, whoever gets my stuff can be like, oh, that's even older. Older than. This one I thought was really cool because it looks really old. Let's see if I can find, and the pages do look a little aged, just a little bit, not terribly. And see if I can find a copyright on this. Yeah, so they got me with the Roman numerals again. Look at that. So that's whatever the copyright is right there. I'm not going to calculate that right now. But it's old. It's cool, right? 50 cents for that. This one was also 50 cents. Super cool. And this one really looks aged, like looks totally vintage. Isn't this awesome? Yeah, and then let's see if I can find a copyright. 1980 on this one. Really cool. And then honestly guys, I really did not need any more golden little books, little golden books. But they were 50 cents each, which is a heck of a lot cheaper than what I've ever paid for them at thrift stores and whatever. And I have like a whole tub of these filled up in my garage for all these ideas of books that I wanted to cut these out and make like little mini golden book junk journals. But anyway, I saw these and I was surprised because I kind of went a little bit later in the day on the sale because we actually had other errands we were running that day. And I, wasn't really expecting to find anything. And I saw these, but some of these were like older and I thought they were really cool. And they don't look like, a lot of them looked kind of new to me. Like out of the ones that I have in my garage, it didn't look like I had some of these. So this one's 1985 right there. And I don't recall having this one. So yeah, super cool. Bambi. Who doesn't love Bambi? And I know these Bambi ones, they go for some money on eBay for sure. This one's 1984 copyright. And so sweet. Love it. Dumbo. This one's 1988. And like these, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but they are a little yellowed. So these are great. If you already, well, I guess the inside pages are not as dark, but yeah. And Winnie the Pooh. Who doesn't love Winnie? This one's 1996. So this one's not as old, but it's still pretty. It's still cute. Little Mermaid. 1989. I'm pretty sure I have like 1 or 2 mermaid ones, but I don't remember which ones I had. Oh, and I guess I accidentally picked up 2 of these. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I just saw them in the pile and I guess I grabbed them. This one's 1985 also. So that's a repeat. Okay, so I have 2 of those now. I guess that'll go in my giveaway box. That's another thing I thought of when I was there. I was like, you know what? I have a ton already, but if I have any duplicates from this pile against what I have in my garage, I'm gonna try and start doing some giveaways on my channel for the next year, and I thought that would be a good idea to add some of these books into the giveaway. And at 50 cents a pop, I thought that was really reasonable for me for that purpose. All right, so this one was one of my little epic finds for illustrated books. This one's called A Golden Shape book. So I don't know if it's by the same people as, but look how like aged it looks. Like it's super just, yeah, it's cool. And it's just stapled here on the edge, so it's really easy to pull apart. This one is 1972, guys, and these illustrations. And this one was original copyright was 1972, but this is the 8th printing in 1978 by Golden Press. So I think it is like a, let's see who's the publisher here. A Golden Book, Western Publishing. No, so it's a different publishing company. No, Western Publishing. Here we go. So it's the same, like, I guess, golden type, Golden Press, but this must be the old ones, you know, or this was a different one that they didn't put the little gold foil. Doesn't classify as a little golden book, I guess. But I grabbed it, even though there's some like crayon marks in here, but I love that. That adds to the whole vintage aesthetic. Some more crayon marks. Somebody wrote like scribbled all over this, but I love it. I love it. And even this, look how old that looks. So cool. So this is going to be so cool to put in a Christmas vintage junk journal, mini album, whatever you do. This, like, whatever. It's going to make it look so much cooler. Thanks to that vintage book. Okay. All right. Let's make some room here. All right. These were some really cool find, guys. So I love books that are written in other languages. And when they're old, they're even more cool. So we'll try this little delicacy here. This is a book from 1912. They had it in a plastic bag. Let's see if I can make this out. I don't think this is in English, so I'll do my best. Yeah, no, this is in another language. I cannot tell what it is, but it's from 1912. And look how beautifully aged and weathered this book looks, guys. I honestly, it would probably kill me just a little bit to take this one apart. Maybe somebody can make out this writing and tell me in the comments what it is. Who knows? It may even be, it looks like it could possibly be German. I'm not sure. I'll have my German friend look at this and tell me. If not, look at this. Tell me what language that is. I'll leave it up here a little bit. But anyway, I don't even know what this is. But whatever it is, it goes like some kind of keeping tabs of dates and something or other. See if anybody can make this out. Anyway, I don't really need to know what it says. I just think it's so cool. Look at that. And I really love like the type of paper. It's like, I don't know, I can't explain it. But it's absolutely cool, guys. This was a really nice find. I'll have to find out if this still has a copyright or not, because if it doesn't, then this would be great for scanning into like a into some like junk journal pages and ephemera. Yeah. So I'll have to do a little more research on that and find out. But anyway, and it smells like an old book. I love it. Super cool. It looks like the top had like red ink on it at one point. Yeah, this is super good find. This was like in the, I don't know, under $3 section. That's a steal of a deal. Like, I'm over the moon about that find. This other one here, this is in French. This was in the foreign book section. This is not actually bound by like a really strong book cover, but that's okay. This was printed in Canada. So it's in French, but it was printed in Canada. It says it right there. Let's see if I can figure out the date. And of course, I did take French when I was in high school, but my French isn't that great anymore. And I can't say it ever really was. I used to always mix up my Spanish words with French, and it drove my French teacher crazy. Because I would try to speak French with a Spanish, like it was really hilarious. Yeah, super cool. Obviously, I know it says the accident. That much I can make out. And something about Paris here. Editions Bernard. This is an address. And let's see. I know there was a copyright. There was a year in here somewhere. I think there was. I can't find it now. It doesn't really matter, but because it just looks so vintage. I mean, look at this. And the papers on the edge are like, I don't know if you can tell, but they're not like smooth. Almost have like this weird perforated thing to them. But yeah. So look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So this one's really cool. This one's $2. And then there was actually a lot of books like by this Roman guy or Roman person, and there was a ton of these. Like there was probably a box like this full of these. But I was good. I just picked through like 3 different boxes and picked these 3. But I mean, if I wanted papers that looked like this, so like 3 lifetimes, I would have bought all those books, but I stopped myself and only got 3. This is another one that is not bound. This is just regular paper. It's not bound. And look at the edges, guys. And look, these pages are like, see if the camera will focus for you. And like as I'm like fanning this out, there's like little paper fibers that are, so I have to be careful with this one because it's already falling apart. But look at the aged papers on this. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? Super cool. So these are really, really aged pages. I'll have to do some research and see if these are copyright or not. Because if they are not, then they could possibly be scanned to use for future, for like backgrounds of junk journal pages. But I also like to use these background papers in these books. I like to use them on the, like as the base paper for vintage cards or for vintage items, projects. Anyway, whatever this is, it's super cool. $2. That one was super aged, and this one was too. This one has some cool writing on it, like up at the top, which always gives it so much character. Another unbound book, so, kind of fell apart more. And the pages are also super aged. Yeah, these are super, super cool. Oh, and there's some like pictures in here too. Look at that. Yeah, so, they're in rough shape, but I really love these super aged books. Yeah, and let's see if there's some information in the front about this. I have to find out how old these books are. Yeah, I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. If you can tell something that maybe I missed. Oh, this one here says 1941, guys. Look at that. Super cool. 1941. Yeah, that was a good find. Yeah, see, there's like pieces of the cover that's just like falling apart on one of the books here. Let me throw that out. It's driving me nuts. Okay. These were my absolute... Oh, here's another vintage looking book. Illustrated book. This is a Rand McNally book. Super cute. Love it. This one was $1, so it was not in the 50-cent section. Look at this aged vintages book. Here's another copyright that's in Roman numerals. I can calculate that another time. I know I calculated one of these books while I was standing there. I looked it up so I can figure it out because I only know like the simple ones. Once you stick M's and C's in there, I don't know what the heck it is. I have to go look it up. But I think I looked this one up. One of these books up. I looked it up in there and they were, yeah, this was super aged. Look at that. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Yeah, I think it was like, I don't even want to guess what year it is, but super cool. Loved it. That was a good find for $1. And it's a hardcover too. So that's cool because this could be used as like the cover of like an altered book. Yeah, I have a couple more illustrated books here, but they're really big. So this was in the super duper spency section. I had to prepay for my receipt, and then what you do is in that section, you pick out the books that you want. The lady writes your name and then gives you a receipt. Once you go and pay for this up at the front, then you can go back and collect your books. So that's what this was, my receipt for that. And this one is a French, it says here, French portrait engraving of the 10th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. And look at that. Isn't that so cool? Super cool book. This one was a special pricing. This one was $10. So let's open this bad boy up and see what we have. It is so cool. Look at those age spots. Oh man. French portrait engraving, it says here. Oh, these illustrations are gonna be so... I remember this one had illustrations. So cool. Look at that, guys. And you can like, if this is not copyrighted, you could scan that and turn it into ephemera. Look at that. Because that's where people get their ephemera from. Oh, this one's really cool. This like inner page here is like super like super light. The rest are more like thicker cardstocky paper. This one's like a very thin, very cool texture. 1910, guys. Look at this. Isn't that awesome? I love it. I love it. Oh man. And I love the font as well. This is a really cool font. Yeah. Super, super cool. So these would make excellent book pages. I think I would die a little if I had to tear this apart, but you know, I would love to scan these if they're not copyrighted to preserve them. And then if I ever get around to actually, oh, this has some pencil marks on it, I would leave that in there. Looks cool. If I ever had the heart to tear this apart to use it in like a junk journal, these would make such cool like junk journal pages. So I don't know why, but when I flip it that way, it won't show the pictures, because I think the pages where there's a picture, there's like a nice like tissue type paper in front of it, I think, to protect the illustration somehow, because I think because of the way that they used to print them. That way the ink wouldn't blot. So yeah, there's a ton of portraits in here. Oh man, guys. Love it. I didn't flip through the whole thing when I went in. I just flipped through the first few pages and I was like, mine. I didn't even care what was in the rest of the book. So I'm actually like getting to know this book as I'm flipping it through with you. Yeah, this one was absolutely worth the $10. Like, I am so lucky that I scored this book. All right. How many of you are vintage book collectors? Leave me some love in the comments. Tell me I'm not alone. I know I have at least one other friend that likes old books like me. But I want to know if there's more of you out there. So this one, my husband actually picked this one out for me. And And it was in the Spency book section. And yeah, really cool. This one was also $10. And oh, it's got some engraving there. The title of the book is engraved, is like embossed and debossed here. You can't tell. And then that Asian writing is in like silver foil. And look at that. These are like, these pages look aged, but I think they're just meant to be this like color. And I love collecting like Asian books that look really cool. This one is copyright 1981. And this looks like everything that's in English is also mirrored in another language. And I obviously can't decipher Asian writing, so I'm gonna have to read a little bit here. It looks like it was like translated word for word for people that have maybe like two languages. I'll have to read this a little bit. Life without paper is difficult. Let's see. It says life without paper is difficult to imagine, indispensable. Da, da, da. Writing surfaced throughout Europe and Asia. So yeah, I have no idea. No idea why that is this way, but it looks like they go into describing certain things in history, and then it's in like two different languages. So 1981, this probably still has a copyright, so I wouldn't be able to use it probably for ephemera. But wouldn't this make some awesome book pages in a junk journal? Or yeah, but I don't know that I would have the heart to tear this up, so we'll see. This one's a little shinier here, but all these other pages were matte. Like, they almost have like a linen texture to them. I know the camera's not going to pick that up. But then we do get to some areas here. Like, this is something about Julius Caesar. So it talks about a lot of like historical stuff. So I definitely would read this before I would tear it up if I did. Because it's actually really interesting. It's one of the reasons my husband and I like to travel to Europe, because the history is just incredible. We like to go on like the guided tours because you learn so much that way. Yeah, this is really cool. I wonder why they translated it in like another language. Like, I wonder why they would have that. But anyway, this book is really, really cool. So kudos to my husband. Good find. Oh, and then look in here. There's like some rice paper in here with that. Is that not like super swoon worthy here? Let's see if there's this is printed in Japan, this paper. So cool. And then it also has this here. Isn't this awesome? I don't know why this is in here, but I'm not mad about it. Public occurrences by, yeah, I don't know why this is in here. Or what it was a part of, or maybe it's somehow a part of the book. I don't know, but there's like a little pocket here, and you can see the stains from the paper. So there's a little pocket here, and that's where this lives. And super cool. Absolutely worth the price. Another lucky find. So thank you to my dearest husband. All right. Let me try and get this all the way in there, but I'm having a little difficulty on camera here. Okay. We're just going to live like that. All right. That one was part of my specialty buy. All right. So here's another illustrated book, but it's a lot bigger. And that one was $1. This is what the back looks like. When it came out, it was only $3.95. And this was in the Christmas kids book section. Look at that. Isn't this gorgeous? And I don't know if you can tell, but like, it's Yeah. Oh, this one was the one that I looked it up. I think it was from, I don't remember what it was, but this is the one that I looked up in the store because I couldn't tell what year it was and I wanted to know. And it says printed and bound in the US. And of course by now I've forgotten how old this book is, but it's in pristine shape and the papers are matted, as you can see, like they're not shiny at all. So this is just such a good find. I love it. Absolutely gorgeous. And one more in the Christmas section. That's what the back looks like. Printed in Belgium. I love it when there's books that I find and they come from other. Oh, this is cool. Look. Copyright. Sorry, I like moved my camera and I'm not used to this new setup here. 1983, 1984. Printed in Belgium. Very gorgeous. Look at that. And these are also matted. And there's some like pencil marks here. Yeah. Super cool. So this was a really cute find. And then I found in the foreign book section, I was so happy. I found this huge atlas book. I mean, look how big it is. Like, it's like my hands are here and the book just keeps going and going. And I know for sure this is in German because it was in the German section. And my German friend is probably going to be like a little sad that I found this and she didn't. But anyway, maybe she won't be. But if I do end up tearing this book up, I would probably share some pages with her if she wanted them. But yeah, it's a German atlas book of the world. Let's see if I can tell what year it was. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, here I go. Copyright 1990, it says. Oh, this was just in there, like, just because. This is just like a sheet from a magazine. This is not part of the atlas. But anyway, yeah, so this, as you can see, it's an atlas of the world, but everything is in German. So let me see if I can fit most of this in frame. Yeah, so super nice. The pages are not overly matte, like they're not shiny at all, but they are smooth, so they're not like paper texture. But all of my junk journal and my like Tim Holtzy people know like what a good find this is. And this was also, can you believe, guys, this was the blue sticker here, so it was $1. Yeah, now you know why I walked out of there with stuff. I couldn't resist. When you give me vintage and really cool books for $1, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, so, and then here, this is where it ends. So half of the book is paper texture and it's just like references and cities. But this part here makes absolute perfect background papers for junk journal and vintage projects or just in general. And you don't have to use them in this orientation. You can turn them sideways too. And collaging, this is great for collaging. The font is a little more modern, but I can live with it. If you ink this up and spray some ink and stuff on there, blend that out, super cool. Yeah. You can tear one of these papers or unbind this book and then you fold these sideways, like going sideways. Yeah, really cool. So this was a good find. And, you know, I have other atlas books that I've collected too. So this one would probably not be one of the first ones I would tear up. I would probably save this one as a little gem jewel for a rainy day or if I wanted to do something different. All right, I've got some more books. Don't fear not. I've got more. There's some more books here. There's a lot of books. Okay. This one was also $1. Modern American Drama. And this one has like a linen texture cover. It's super cool. So it's a hardback. But look at that aging. Look at the age spots on the edge, guys. Isn't that just lush? This looks like it may have been like a library book at one point. And let's see. This was part of, yeah, the Hester Memorial Library in Tigerville, South Carolina. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this. 1966 copyright. And look at these pages. They're nice and aged. This is why I couldn't resist. And I love that this is like a slimline type, you know, size. It was just a different size of the pages that I thought were really cool. Look at that. So as you can see, yeah, this is really nice. All right. Then I got this book here. This one looks like it's in another language. This one I gotta be careful. It's like falling apart. Which I would end up having to tear that out anyway if I was going to use this. Yeah, this is in another language. I think it's in French. Yeah. Yes, it is in French. And let's see. Obviously, I don't know what the book is about. Because I have to read a little bit more. And this has a copyright of 1954. If my camera will autofocus. 1954. Oh, love that illustration. And I love it. Look, they've got like writing and underlining in there. I usually leave that in there. I don't. Yeah, and it's got some cool illustrations. This is a gem. So if this is still copyright, I wouldn't be able to like scan it for ephemera or making like junk journal collage paper. And this one has some more like writing on it, but I like that. But I would definitely like enjoy using this as book pages. Texture is really cool. Although the pages kind of tear easily. Like I just tore that one. So I would have to be really careful. But yeah. This one's really cool. I'll have to like read a little bit and do translator to see if I can figure out what this book is about. But at first glance, I don't know. But it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Like a lot of cool illustrations and pictures. Anyway, yeah, you get a lot. Like there's a lot of pages in here. There's like 1,000. 1,000. Oh, look at this index, guys. Look at that. Doesn't that just make you swoon? So cool. I love that font. Yeah, there are 1,063, 64, 65. Yeah, there's like over 1,000 pages in here. So it's a really big book. You can do a lot with this. If you were using it for junk journaling, if you weren't just collecting books, which I don't know. I'm just happy to have them even if I don't use them. 18th century French plays. This book is in really good condition still, but it is, you know, like an old school, nice bound book. The pages are not like super aged, as you can see, but man, this is another, I think this is in French, and look at this. Look at this font, yo. Look at this. Love that font. Yeah, super cool. Let's see. This used to belong to someone, Elaine Felton. And then it has like what her address was. Look at that. Look at this. I love that. 18 French plays. But I guess when I was looking at this, when I was reading the cover, I didn't realize that it was going to be in French. I thought it was just about French plays. But 1927, guys. Look at that. Printed in the USA. Purpose of this book is to include within the compass of a single volume a series of representative plays illustrating the principal phases of the 18th century French drama. Blah, 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 blah. Super cool. I love this explanation here, and it'll tell me like all about it. So I can't wait to like sit down and just look, like thoroughly read and flip through some of these books just to kind of like learn more about them. I feel like, I don't know, it's like everyone tells, every vintage book has like a little soul to it, like I feel like. So it's nice to like flip through and look at it and look at its pages and the weather. Then it's just kind of like, it's like meeting a new person. It's really cool. Yeah, you just like get to know what little treasures you bought. I love that font. Sorry, I keep showing you guys this, but like some of the writing's in English, some of the writing is in French, and then these, now it just all goes into French writing. Yeah. But another one that has a ton of pages. This one has 562 pages. And this one is in like mint condition, but because of the font, it does not have like, it has like a vintage feel for it. So it's really nice. All right. Oh, I'm going to put this one maybe here. And then this one here, in decent shape, some like wear and tear on the cover, but look at that. That's character right there, guys. This set of books like this, there was a table full, like more than this, like maybe 2 rows like this. And they were only $1. But this was when I first started shopping that day, and I was trying to be good and not get that many books until I got to the foreign section. And that's why I only have one of these, because I was being good. And I wasn't trying to overload myself with vintage books. Oh man, guys, look at this illustration here. And the feel of this, oh, I can't even like put it into words. Look at that. So this is what this book is. Copyright 1910. Look at that. Come on. Focus, focus, focus. All right. Just take my word for it. It was 1910. And even though this is lighter over here, these pages that are more like a paper feel, these have a little bit of a, like a, not a sheen, but like a something. These papers have some kind of coating on them, which is probably why they're a different color. But these pages here, they're more weathered, as you can see, and they're aged. And the font is also really cool. Look at that. Absolutely love it. So this, if it's not copyright, would be great for vintage ephemera and junk journal pages. Like, you know, for digital ones, or if you wanted to use these in your junk journal pages, I think people would just love these. And they smell like an old book. I love it. It smells good. All right, paper sniffing, stop. All right, next. This one's called Indian's Book. It's got an ISBN, so might be like a newer book. Let's see. Why did I get this one? Lillian Epstein was the prior person this one belonged to. The Indian's Book. Why did I get this one? Is it just because it's cool? Probably. That's an interesting font there. What's the copyright on this? 1987. Look at that. 1987. And look at that font, guys. Look at that. Oh, man. This is really cool. This is another cool font. I'll show this to you guys. Oh, so cool. I know why. I think was there music in here? That's why. Okay, there was some really cool illustrations in here. So I'm just going to flip through real quick, like I do when I'm there. And look at these. They were like these handwritten songs. Handwritten music notes and songs. Isn't that so cool? Now I remember why I got this. That's so cool. And then there's some like real life pictures of Indians in here. So incredibly cool. So yeah, this was like a little treasure for me. I would find it really hard to tear this one up just because it's so pretty. And, you know, there's some really nice history in here and American history. So I really would probably... Oh, this one's got a nice colored illustration here. But it's like shiny paper. Look at that. Yeah. It was some more of those. Yeah. This is just really cool. I wish I had like 2 of these. So I could use one for junk journaling and for crafty projects. And then use the other one as like, you know, a history book. Like really pretty little gem of a book here. Yeah, this will be interesting to read this and learn a little bit more about this book. It's going to be really nice. I can't wait. Sometimes when I feel like I want to just sit down and like not do anything really, like have to use my brain too much to think and make decisions, I like to pick up an old book, just look through it, look through the pages, read. It's like stepping back in time for like 2 seconds. And yeah, so last but not least, so this was not part of the big book sale, but I did get it the same day because once we, oh, I gotta put this back in the Atlas book. Once we got done, hold on one sec. Once we got done in the book sale, we had noticed on our way there that down the street there was a thrift store, and so we stopped there afterwards. And this was my incredible find that day at the bookstore, at the thrift store. This was $1.50. Yes, you heard me. It was $1.50. The New York Century Dictionary. It is so beautiful. It was the only one there. Look at that weatheredness. I mean, this is so freaking cool. Like, and the price that I paid for it, I feel like I bought a $2,000 item. That's the feeling that I have. It's like this is like, it's amazing. Look at the embossed detail on the book. I don't know if you can tell because my lighting is a little, but look at that. Yeah, this is just so beautiful. Look at that yellowing. Look at that, guys. Like, look at that level of yellow. Oh. And then the font here. All right, so let me be delicate with this because these pages, some of these pages are a little loose and a little thin because it is a dictionary. So let's see what gorgeousness we have here. This is copyright 1946. Look at that. Oh man, this is so amazing. Look at that font. And I'm obsessed with collecting vintage dictionaries, especially these that have illustrations like this. I mean, look at that. That is a vintage lover's dream, book lover's dream, and a junk journaler's dream. Look at that. And like a vintage crafty person's dream. Imagine taking this here and like putting a diagonal on the back of a vintage cover card. You take your card base and you use this as your background paper, and then you splash some vintage photo ink on there. Oh, Yeah. Look at these illustrations. Look at that. So needless to say, you get a lot here. I think I can afford to not only use some of these for, they are like, I think they would tear easily, but not terribly. So you do have to be mindful of that if you use these as book pages in like a junk journal. But I have some other dictionaries that are probably not as beautiful as this one. So I think those would probably get used up before this. But yeah, let me show you the font here. It's really cool. Yeah, it's very nice. Sorry, my camera's not adjusting. Then there's something over here. Let's see, what's this? Wow. Can you imagine the ephemera that this would make? Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so lucky. This is like probably the find of the year so far. It's only August, but still. I've literally not been through thrift stores, like I think maybe 2 this whole year, because this is the stuff I find, and eventually I run out of room. Like I don't know where else to put all of my vintage books. I'd have to like rent a storage unit, and then it will like defeat the purpose of finding good deals. Yeah, it's a problem. I know. All right, so that is that. And I do have a couple more goodies that I scored from that thrift store. I scored some really cool fabric in this big roll here. It's a big, huge, like upholstery roll. It's like as tall as I am. And I don't know if you can tell the fabric, but it's upholstery fabric. And it is how do I say this? Ivory. I've lost my words tonight. Ivory, but it's got some like light pink accents. So I'm trying to get the camera to pick up the pink. There we go. And so this will make beautiful journal covers or some patchwork stuff. Yeah, so I got 3.5 yards of this on a big upholstery roll, and at that thrift store, it was $3 a yard. So that was a steal of a deal. Let's see if I don't knock something over here. Okay. And then I have one more bag of goodies here. Where is it? They had some sewing notions that were 10 for $1. They had these huge baskets and buckets, and they were all just 10 for $1. So everything you see here, I picked up like an identical set of this for my mom. And so in total for all of she and I's like things that I got, I paid like $3.50. So this was 10 cents. They had a whole case of them on the table. These were also 10 cents each, and I got 2 each. Got 2 for me, 2 for my mom. I got these like embroidery needles, 10 cents. And these are all brand new. Like this is not used. It looks like there was some kind of closeout or somebody donated something from like one of the old factories that were around here. I think Dritz used to have a manufacturing plant around here or something. And I think that's why, not a manufacturing, but a corporate headquarters. Yeah, in Spartanburg, South Carolina was the headquarters. Come on, camera. Work with me here. What do I need to do to get, there we go. A little bit. Spartanburg, South Carolina. That's 1 county over from Greenville. And so I think this company, the headquarters was in Spartanburg, and I think one of the factories closed out. And I think that's where all this closeout came from. But they had bins and bins of just, you could literally buy a case of any one of these for just $5, but I didn't need that much. So I just bought, I picked up 2 packages of these, and 1 for me, 1 for my mom. It comes in these little box, and they're basting pins, safety pins. Then I got these dressmaker pins, 10 cents. They come in this little box. And I think everything else was like these. So they had, this is the Dritz brand here. And they're for the dressmaker pins, right? But they're just empty containers. But they seal really well. And they were 10 cents each. So I got 10 for me, 10 for my mom. I probably should have gotten more. They have a lot, so I can always go back. Next weekend, I do plan on being in Greenville next weekend, so we might go a little bit early because we're gonna be celebrating my birthday this coming weekend. And I can pick up some more because my mom was like, "Oh, these would be really good to store our sequins and all kinds of little doodads." 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. So thanks for sticking it out with me this long, guys, for my book sale and thrift haul. And until the next post, I remain Christina LaCrafty. Bye.